So you've described this automation space or this manufacturing or processing space whereby collaboration between robot and human is enabled through cobots.
Correct.
Historically, that hasn't been achievable, has it? With prior to collaborative robotics, the only option really had for automation at scale was industrial robots. What
Mhm.
what are the differences besides collaboration, I guess,
Mhm.
between cobots and industrial robots, and why do cobots now even exist?
Sure. One of the challenges with the industrial robot, one of the good things, let's perhaps there's a number of variances or differences between the industrial robot versus the collaborative robot. And so the key elements would be, for example, speed, payload, safety, space required, time to deploy, and also flexibility in deployment. So in the first instance, we have to recognize that industrial robots have the advantage of being able to operate at faster speeds and at higher payloads than cobots. And so for large scale manufacturing, heavy duty manufacturing, they're ideal. However, when you come to looking at the small and medium size operator businesses, SMEs, a lot of them are not at the scale of their operation that can justify the cost, the real estate, and the infrastructure that's required for an industrial robot. And that's where the collaborative robot really comes into its own. It's actually aimed at the smaller processes, the smaller flow throughs, the less speed and the lower payloads of these smaller operators. So, for example, we have collaborative robots that can operate, let's say, for example, up to 20 kilogram payloads, 25 kilogram payloads, and operate, say, for example, packing boxes at a rate of maybe 8 to 10 a minute, or palletizing at 6 or 7 boxes a minute. Now, clearly, an industrial robot can go much faster, but there's a whole lot more interaction, infrastructure that's required within a factory, and a whole lot more real estate that's required within a factory to install those industrial robots. The other element, of course, is flexibility. The collaborative robot runs from 240 volt power, just a GPO plug-in, and maybe some compressed air for a gripper, for example. But it also can be very easily moved around a factory, especially if you're a contract manufacturer. This morning you wish to be doing this particular process, maybe it's picking and packing, but this afternoon you need it to be doing palletizing. With a collaborative robot, you can very easily move it from one process to another as the requirement moves within your factory, as compared to an industrial robot, which once it's fixed in place, you're not going to be moving that in the next 5 years, probably. So that's another advantage for the smaller manufacturers, is the flexibility. And that's probably where the big difference comes in the real estate, the flexibility, and the speed of deployment. Safety, of course, is the big thing. The reason that industrial robots are able to move faster and have higher payload is because the whole area is fenced off to keep the humans away from it. And that's probably the main difference. An industrial robot is a separate environment of operation, whereas a collaborative robot, as its name says, a cobot, it's collaborating with the humans. There's no separation. There doesn't need to be necessarily separation between the humans and this piece of machinery. And that's the probably the key difference.